Hi guys, Dorothy here this morning, and we're so glad to be here today. And today we're going to work more on our recipe journal that we're working on, our country kitchen. We're using paper, digital paper from Carta called Country Kitchen. And it's sort of like in that 1950s, 60s, 70 type, maybe, I would say more 50, 60 sort of retro-y kitchen type vibe. And one of the things is they have full page grocery lists. Well, I printed mine out into a smaller version. So that is one of the things that I did. And I just took the digital image of the page, took it into Paint on my computer, and just minimized the image till it was the size I wanted. I wanted something small that would fit in my journal. So these are actually, let me check my measurements here. They are 7 by 2 3/4. And I printed 2 per page. So I actually have 40 copies of my little grocery list, and I want to bind them into like a notebook that I can put inside my journal and, have, if I want to pull it off, to use grocery list if I'm planning like for Christmas dinner and Easter and, all those wonderful things, or, whatever, or even if you're just doing that weekly, your weekly menu, and you want to sort of plan on what you need for your groceries, then you can write straight off your recipes. So I wanted that in my recipe book. And I also will be including like a calendar, not really a calendar, but like a menu planner, as well as a menu planner. And I'm going to try to have sort of like a stocked pantry list, and a couple other things like that along the way. So it's not going to be just, I want it to be very usable, something you can use all the time. And that's why I'm taking so long on the cover and making sure I have the exact cover that I want, because I want to make sure that we can manipulate this as a cookbook, as a recipe book, as a menu planner, a pantry stocker. It's sort of nice to have all of that information in together, as well as our hints and our tips and tricks and all of that. If you didn't watch the video yesterday, make sure you watch part 1. It will give you some info on, some things that you can get along the way that'll help you. So what I did is I just cut all the white background off of these, and I've stacked them together. And then I cut, this was just the back on the inside of, this was actually a pack of sheet protectors that, you put in a binder. And this was just the cardboard in the back. And I just cut it down to size, so it's the same as my grocery list. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find whatever side is my top. So I'm going to find my top, which is obviously going to be where my grocery list is. I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm sort of just want to push it, sort of bang it down, so all of my pages are lined up on the top. And then I'm going to grab, my handy dandy binder clips that I use, and I'm just going to put one there on one side. Then I'm going to sort of pack down on the side to make sure that it's level. And then I'm going to come in on this side and put a binder clip, and on this side and put a binder clip, and just sort of, put those where they're not across from each other exactly. And then again, I'm going to go one down on the bottom and put it, so that way it's held down really, really good. So I'm actually going to take my binder clip here that we use on the top, and I'm going to slide it over to my right hand side. I like working from left to right. If you're a person that likes to work right to left, that's fine. I find it easier because I'm right-handed to go left to right. Okay, so we have this flat and very even. I have my glue gun. This is a high temp. My glue sticks, let me see if I can pull this out. I pay a little bit more. I know you can buy really cheap glue sticks, but I want something that's more of a permanent hold. And I find some of the cheaper glue sticks, when they dry, they just, they peel off in that one whole strip. So I like using these because I think they last long term. They're the Gorilla brand. So they are a little bit more expensive, but you will get your money worth out of them because they're a lot thicker. And this is an AdTech high temp glue gun. You can buy these at Walmart for a little bit of nothing. And And I find it, I do have a really cheap one of the like little $2 ones. I don't like using it for projects like this because I don't think it heats it enough. I just don't feel it gets enough heat, I guess, is my thing. So I've already got my extra glue stick up here, and we are going to have a couple DIYs we're going to use our glue sticks for. So you will get your money's worth out of them. And we'll wipe the glue off the tip there. And then I have my little dollar spatula, my silicone spatula that we use for all our little DIYs. And again, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the small end. And we're basically going to create our own little our little notebook pad. So I'm going to try to do this hopefully where you can see. So I'm just going to make sure I'm holding it even. And I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to squeeze a little glue out on the top. Right like that. And I'm not going to go all the way over. I mean, obviously I don't want to cover and I'm just going to really lightly take it and string it across there. I don't have to worry. I never worry about, I mean, you can use a piece of white paper across the, on the front if you don't want to ruin, one of the pages you've printed. I'm just going to go ahead and do mine. And again, I'm just going to drag that till it's sort of flat. But where I know that all my pages are sort of stuck together and I've got coverage. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it will look sort of, you can see where it's sort of lumpy through there on the front where I pushed it down. And then I can take this binder clip off because I've already did that side. And I sort of hold it, make sure to keep your hands out of the way. This does not take very long to do. And you can do this with any kind of paper. I did some with, different scrap papers. If you watch my DIY, I have a DIY on making the little notebooks. If you watch it, I actually use different scrap papers. So you have sort of like a scrap sampler of papers to carry in your journal. So there's that. And because this is silicone, once I let it dry, it just rolls off my thing, which makes it really nice. So I'm going to set that to the side. We're done with that. I am going to switch out my glue gun for my other one. And then this comes with a nice little stand. It can stand on all that. So I'm just going to stand it over on my extra table here out of the way. Okay, so there we go. Then I'm actually I had, hold on, let me find it really fast. Sometimes you have stuff sitting everywhere and it's sort of hard to find. Okay, I'm back. I was looking for, I had, checking in all my little drawers here to see what I did with it. Okay, well, I can't find it right now, so. That's what happens when you have too much stuff sitting around, I guess. I had it out so I could use it, and now I can't find it, and I'm not sure what I did with it. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I still can't find it. I'm not sure where I've set it to put it out of the way, and I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to take any more time looking for it. I'll just explain what I do. Okay, so then what I do is I don't normally pull these off. I really wish I could find that because it makes it a little easier to explain. Anyway, I just use one of the big nail files and use it to sort of grind it down. And I'll put this aside. I'll find it and I'll do it in the video tomorrow when I first start, show you how I grind it down. But I just basically take the nail file and file off the big chunks so it's nice and smooth. And then I can take these off. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I've done with it. I had it out to use specifically for this, and I have put it somewhere. And then I just pull the first one off. And when I pull it off, that pulls off a lot of those big gummy things off the top. And I can use this, for a washi strip or something like that. You can use scissors and just sort of try to, but you have to be really careful because if you trim too far, you will cut right through the glue. And if you cut through the glue, then you've just pretty much undid what you've done. So it sort of takes a little time and effort. But normally I use not the metal nail files, but I use, like the big poofy, more like manicuring type nail files, like the kind, the LA colors and things like that you can get at the dollar store is what I use. Okay, well, and down. So but I mean, even that is not too bad. And then you can grab your ink and, ink around the edges. You can ink around the edge of each page if you want to. Because I would, taking these to the grocery store, I just do them like this and sort of slide along the edges to add that little color as I put it in my book. But that's it. So that's it. So I've made my little grocery list notepad, and let me pull it up here. And as you can see, it holds in just like a little notebook. No matter where you grab it, it holds open. So we will add that to our ephemera basket that we have. Okay. And then another thing I've taken to doing lately is I go through my washi before I start a project. And I pull out any kind of washies that I feel sort of have that color or the vibe that I want. So with this kit, I'm tending to use this page. So I went through and just sort of pulled out. And they may not be exact tones, but, they at least have the colors that I want on them. So I went through and pulled out my washies. I'll try to get them all laid out here. And I have a lot of different washies. So I have a lot of these little planner washies that are the really thin ones. And I bought those at Walmart. You get like 15 of them in a thing for $1 when they were on clearance. So I have a ton that I've stocked up on. So yeah, so I pulled out some washies. So I have some washies, and I just sort of set them in a container off to the side the whole entire time I'm creating for this journal, because then they're out there. If you don't put them in front of you, you're not going to use them. I used to have them in a box, and I think I've showed everybody my silverware drawer that I do my washi in. If you haven't seen it. Well, this isn't all of them. This is just a silverware, one of the plastic silverware drawers from Walmart. And that's what I use to keep mine in. I find it handy because I can see every single one. If I had them in a box, I have to open the box. I have to hunt and dig through every single washi, or pull them all out, dump them all out, sort through and put them all back in. And, if you do things like that, it's a little bit more of a headache. I find it I'm less likely to use things if I have to, pull things out and hunt and search for them and all of that. So that's how I like to keep my washi, and you can put multiples, they stack really well. Um, so yeah, that's how I do my washies. These are like the little planner washies I was talking about, and I have tons of those. And then I've got just a mixture of washies. And like these are the big compartment over here I use for like my sets of washi that I have. Like this Auburn Lane one came from Tuesday Mornings, and the Petals and Blooms, which would go good with this kit, even with some of the yellows and stuff. Is a Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby. This was a Paper Studio. It was $19.99, but I got it on clearance for like $3 at Hobby Lobby, in my Hobby Lobby. So I picked it up. It has a bunch of cactuses and things like that. So not things I use so much, but it is there. And I don't. Some people I know sort their washi and just how and why we use them and all that. And I have Tim Holtz washi in another container. These are the ones I like my favorite. But my Tim Holtz washi, I keep those in here because I use those. But my other Tim Holtz washis are just in a lidded tote, because I know it's a Tim Holtz, and I know the ones I know what those are specifically. So that's how I do my washi. So it makes it easier where you pull them out, and you want to use them more so. So let's get with it today. It is 2:00. We have a little bit of time to do these, and I want to do one with this pink background because I think this is so pretty. So as I do these, I'm going to leave the flat. Remember, we said we had one part that was corrugated more, one that was flat. I'm going to leave the flat side up. I'm not backing these. I'm going to leave these in the plain brown to journal on the outside. So since this is paper, I can pull out my art glitter glue. This is a big, crusty, crunchy, dried thing on the top. Every once in a while, it does that. And let's see. There it goes. I'm sorry, guys. I know it looks like I just pulled this out of my hat or something, but I really didn't. I actually had this all planned and stuff laid out, and it's just I have to look where my file went. I don't know if one of my girls may have walked off with it or something. I don't know. It wasn't here laying on my desk for me to use. And I'm just going to put a nice coat of glue. And again, this is art glitter glue. And this is one of the papers from the kit. And I printed this out on my... I actually use premium bright inkjet laser paper from Walmart. It's Pen and Gear brand. And you get I paid $5 or $6 for it. Don't quote me on that. $5 or $6 is what I paid for it, and it's 24 pound with 96 brightness. I have really, really good luck with that. So that tends to be what I use to print out a lot of my background pages. Now, one thing to remember, if you printed out all of your pages, if you're going to use, the pages in your journal too, which, I'm planning on doing, then, if you use a page now, then you need to make sure that, I'm going to use my floral page too. You need to make sure that you print out more than one page. So when you go to make your journal, you don't have those pages missing, unless you just want to use those pages as backgrounds for your tags only. That's sort of up to you. And again, I'm just putting this into the corner, and then I'm going to trim this tag all the way down to the edge. If you remember, we made our tags yesterday. We did with our sprayed acrylic inks and such. So I wanted to do these sort of more plain for people who, maybe just have, paper without all of the extras. Leak that out a little bit there on the end. And again, I'm just going to trim around it. Because I know, people have different things and may or may not have certain items. I try to, do some fairly easy and economical DIYs to help cover for that. But even with doing the DIYs, I know sometimes people don't have the extras. And I'm trying to do plain backgrounds. I did do the floral because I love that floral. And I think I want to do a stripe and a polka dot. Oh, I already have a plaid. So let me see. Maybe do another floral and a polka dot. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the polka dot. Like that polka dot. And we'll do the small floral. I like this too. I sort of like how these have that vintage feel to them. Okay, since we did the other floral that way, we'll do it this way. So, I know we got a lot of people that are like really excited about the recipe journal and working on it. And I will try to make sure that I link all the videos in the playlist for the recipe journal. I know that it makes it sort of hard. I like, I'd love to do some live videos where I'm working on it. But then it makes it sort of hard to, I can put it in the playlist, but then, people go looking for it and can't find it and that type of thing. So it makes it easier if it's the premieres. Hopefully everybody will notice that this isn't premiering tonight. Today is April 15th. And it is a Wednesday, and we have our wonderful Wednesday lives tonight. So with doing the live tonight, I don't want to premiere this and do the live tonight. It'll depend on how long this is. If this is only like an hour, then I can, premiere it maybe. I probably won't, though. I'll probably premiere it earlier and then do the wonderful Wednesday live tonight. We're going to try to do that, barring, Wi-Fi issues, because since everybody's at home these days, it does seem like our internet is having more and more issues with buffering and things like that. But hopefully it will be fine. And again, I'm just trimming around the edges to these. Now you could trace around your tags, create, then cut, that 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch off the outsides if you want to create, a mat for your tag. I personally decided I just want to do mine this way. And I'm going to pull out my ink. And again, we have lots of tags and things we're going to be making for this. So I'm going to ink up around the edges. That's why I didn't worry about the mat, because I like inking around the edges. And when you ink around the edges, you sort of create that mat anyway. Without, cutting your paper shorter. But again, to each his own. Everybody likes to do things differently. And again, I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Vintage Photo as my ink of choice for this journal. And I always, try to grab one color to use throughout my journal. And so the nature one, we did walnut stain because I thought that was fitting with doing nature. So this one we're doing vintage photo because this reminds me of like a vintage kitchen of, like my grandma's kitchen, and I remember, the old table and chairs from the 50s and things like that. And so I think it's very befitting. This is Carta Bella. I will be, and one thing about Carta Bella, these are for personal use only. And somebody asked me about that yesterday. After the video, I got a message, and these are personal use only. So you can't make money off of what you use the Carta Bella for. So that is, their angel policy or how they do. So you have to be careful of that. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do with these? I think I do want to use some of this red lace that I have on here with, I don't know, that's a little too bright. I don't think I like that. Ooh, I do have part of this doily, which I think would look really pretty with the rose. I think on both florals, I want to use part of this doily. I don't know. I really like the doily on the pink too, though. Okay, let's pull out ephemera and decide. I think that would look really pretty on there with, no, I don't like that. Let me get my papers out of the way. Pull over here and see what I got. Ooh, I really like that. That would look really cute on that one. But I like the homemade with love. Would be really cute. Ooh, this would be cute to maybe do as a vertical tag. See, this says ignore our mess. We're making memories. Let's see what else we have in here. I like that. That goes good there. So I like that there. Yep, I like my pig on my pink. My pig on my pink. Let's see. Ooh, that might look... Ooh, I really like that with the roses. Yeah, I like that way. So I'm sort of just sorting through here, trying to decide. I really just like this, sort of plain. Maybe put that on the back of it. Maybe not. Let me put that back out. Oh, I like that over there with that, actually. That's cute. Cute. I love this kit. It's so cute. I really like that pig there. But now I want to find some kind of little label or tag that could go with that. I know this probably is aggravating to you guys having to sit and watch me sort through all this, but it's sort of step by step how I go through my process of how I do. I mean, I would love to say that I have this massive, magical process, but believe it or not, I sort through it and figure it out just like you guys do. So let's see. Okay, let me hold that. Okay, so I'm going to slide these to the side. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to do this, like I said, sideways. And I think I want to actually use this as a tuck. I'll glue on these 3 sides and tuck behind. So I think I want to keep it pretty flat. So I think I'll do the homemade with love right like that. This over here. I think I do want, I actually think I'm going to grab my little doily here and I'm going to cut just a little edge off of it, which I know everybody goes crazy. Me cutting my corners off like that. And I think I want to put that down like that, sort of hanging off the edge. And then I'll put my little vase on top of it so it'll sort of set like it's a little tablecloth under my vase, which I think is sort of cute. Yep, I think I like that. After we do some ink on it. Oops. Sorry that was so loud, you guys. And if I don't finish these all in this video, because I know we're like going on 30 minutes already, and it seems like the longer videos are having a lot more trouble uploading with YouTube and stuff nowadays. With everything going on, I may cut this into 2 parts. So, you know, if it turns into 2 parts, then that's what we'll do. Since I'm going to glue this down, I'm actually going to let this overhang a little bit. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. And sort of let that overhang in the corner because I think that's sort of cute. So that's a tag turn tuck. And so I'm sort of pre-planning it as a tuck. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac. Glue goobers. I hate them things. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a small amount here to hold my doily on there. I'll be so glad when I use this container of glue up because I hate the lid on this. This has been the worst one, and I've used tons of Fabri-Tac over time, and this one just I don't like. Okay. Yeah, now normally I would use Fabri-Tac to glue this on, but because I have so much paper landscape back here, I'm going to use art glitter glue because I know it's going to attach to the paper at the top and hold it into place. Okay. So I'm going to glue it up and make sure I have it where I want it to be, which is about there. Then I'm just going to sort of press it down up here on the paper, making sure I don't rub it hard enough that I bend it or anything. I just want it to look like it's sort of sitting there. And I may have to wipe a little bit of glue off the back. And again, I'm not worried about inking the back of this because this is going to go down on a page. So say, for instance, I would use it on a regular page. Sorry, I'm trying to grab a page here. Okay, so say I have my page folded in half. It's in my signature, which is stereotypical, how most of us do. Then I have this, and that will be my tuck. Now I do have overhang over here, so I want to prepare my back for that overhang. So I'm going to ink right along the edge of this and create that. Then I'm going to double check here and see. Let's see. I have about a 1/2 inch overhang. So let's find, since this is polka dotted, I'm going to use my blue polka dots. And this is 1/4 inch. Well, it's just a tad under 1/4 inch. So as soon as I can find the end of it, because this is one, the end of it always tries to hide. Okay. And I'm going to put a strip down. I'm going to overlap it just a tad bit. And I'm going to try to line up my dots. If I line up my dots, it's going to keep my pattern. And I want to make sure I keep my pattern. And I know right now, Pioneer Woman, items are extremely popular. My mom was at the store and apparently saw bowls that almost identically matched this. So if you're running a Pioneer Woman kitchen, as far as like decorations, because I know a lot of people are buying a lot of the Pioneer Woman decorations. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I actually have a lot of Pioneer Woman stuff. I just bought one of the little single cup Keurig. We have a big one that has the pot and all that, but we just bought a single cup one, just to use for fast, because sometimes you don't want to do a whole pot, and so we bought a single one, and I actually got the Pioneer Woman one that's got sort of the navy blue decorations on it, and it was on rollback at Walmart, and I got the coffee pot, like the Keurig coffee pot for, it's not a Keurig brand, it's Better Homes and Garden maybe. I don't know. It's whatever brand the Pioneer Woman stuff does. I think it's Better Homes and Garden, but it's decorated in the navy blue and stuff. It's really pretty. And I think I got it for like $39, which was like super cheap. Okay, and I did add a little glue because I want to make sure that that's permanent. So when we put this in our journal and glue it down to be our pocket and flip it over, we actually created this really cute little tab that's going to have the brown and the blue on the edge, which is going to blend right in. Now, I like that. If you don't like that, then make sure if you're going to do something like this that you cut your sizing down to fit on your page if you don't want to overhang. But I actually like, the little tabby overhangy parts in journals. So, and Homemade with Love, I'll probably do this with like on the page in maybe stores, some old vintage. I have some recipes from my aunts and my grandmothers and my mom and my mother-in-law and multiple generations back. So I may use that for that. I actually have, and I'm going to put this in my ephemera basket because it's done, ready to go. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to do this pink one, and I'm going to use the pig. I'm trying to decide. I actually think that I want to cut this tab off. I feel the need to cut this tab off. I don't want the white part on there. I just want the darker color sort of as a faux tag. But I don't want all that white on it, so. And I'm going to go ahead and ink the back of this just because I'm going to have it sticking up a little bit off the top. Not a lot, but just enough to sort of create, that indexy tabby part at the top. Okay. And I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on my tab about halfway up. I can always come back in and add more glue later, but it's a whole lot easier to add than to take it away. And I'm just going to make it to where those little sides match up with the corner of the tab. So it sort of creates this like faux tabby part on top. And I mean, it doesn't stick way over. It's just a tad bit over top on the back. But it is inked up and looks good. Then I'm going to add some of my doily. And I actually think I'm going to put my lid on here. And I'm putting, sort of a heavy amount of glue on here. And I'm doing it on these tab parts first. Because you really don't know where all you're going to do it. So I'm just going to do it a little bit out from here. And I love Fabri-Tac because it just comes off so easy if you get it on places. Okay, and I'm going to put this right like this. And I think I just want it a little bit off the edge like that. Okay, Then what I'll do is fold it down like that. Now I can go in and really do some coverage on the edge to make sure that that's adhered on there really well. And once that is, you really smash that down and, you know, got it sticking on there. Then I'll come in with my scissors and just trim it up to the size I need. And I like sort of leaving that unfinished edge that I'm cutting to the edge of my tag because we go. And I'm going to put my little pig on here, but I want him to be on some cheesecloth. I'm just trying to decide if I want to use some of the green, just to add a pop of other color. No, I think I want this. And pigs like they're dirty. I'm trying to keep this video under 45 minutes, so this may be the last. Although the other two, I'm not doing a lot on. They're going to be just more basic without a lot of added stuff. Not that I've added a lot to any of these, but you know, I'm going to ink up my pig. And just to throw this out there, I know it's not nailed in stone yet, but I'm pretty certain, because I usually plan the journal for the next month, usually right about now. So in the next couple of days, I'll be able to tell you for sure. But I was going to try, I think I'll put this in the back. I'm going to sort of trim this off so it's more jaggedy. Trim this up some because I don't want that much hanging off the edge. And again, over here, a bit more of that riddled. So sort of pulling a lot of the strings out on my cheesecloth, just sort of creating that more raggedy, jaggedy edge. There we go. You know what? Oh, I have that string up my nose. That's crazy. Okay, so there's that one. And I think it's so cute. I really like it. But on the back, I'm going to come in with this. I need to ink it up. But anyway, it's in the final planning, so probably in the next couple of days, I will be able to tell you guys what next month's journal is going to be. I do know, I have an idea. I don't want to tell you until I've decided for sure, and I'll be making that decision. I may announce it tonight in the Wonderful Wednesday Live. And then I'm just going to put the family times down here just sort of as a place that we can journal on. I'm trying to make sure I leave a lot of journaling area in this because, you know, with doing recipes, you can have recipes and things like that. But so there's that. But that one turned out really good. And I'm going to put it in my ephemera box here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this over here because I have some more basic tags coming up because I don't want to take away from the floral. I really like it. So I think a lot of times, you know, you can add too much to it. So I'm going to ink around my tag there. And because there is white in the center of these flowers, I'm going to use a little white cheesecloth under my little tag there. So I'm just going to go in here and leave a really healthy dose of art glitter glue. There's actually 2 here, so I'm going to sort of twist and manipulate them so they come out sort of into opposite areas. There we go. And then I'm gonna, and again, I'm not putting toppers or anything on these yet until I go to put them in the journal, because depending on where I put them and what I want to do with them will depend on, you know, what kind of topper I want on them. You know, if I'm going to clip them in, or, you know, so there's that one, and that's a basic one. So even if you just get the kit, there's a lot of cute things you can do without having, you know, the additional lace and things like that. This kit has tons of ephemera. So, and there's that one, which I really, really like. Okay, and then we're doing this one. And again, this is another one I want to sort of keep plain. I do want to use a little bit of the green cheesecloth with this. And then I'm going to ink my little oval label here up. And again, I'm just going to put this down here off to the side because I want to use it again as another tuck. And I'm going to trim this off just a tad bit, and up here a tad bit. There we go. And there's that one. So we made that one. I don't know why. It seems like it's having trouble focusing in on things tonight. So I made that one. And that one. I really like this one. We made the little piggy one. And it's got the family times on the back. And then we made our other little tuck. Now this one I want to have for the other side. So I'm actually, since it has all the yellow in it, or the yellow showing, you know, I actually think I'm going to use this rose. So I'm only going to have to do, you know what, let's go ahead and glue here. I'm only going to do about 1/4 of an inch or so. And again, you know, pull that washi out and use it. That's what it's for. I know a lot of times we don't, because we, you know, it's there. We don't think about it. Or you think, oh, I want to use washi, but we don't pull it out. I'm going to trim it up, and it is good to go. So there we go. Kitchen, and then it's got the little flowers on the back. So that is our 4 tags for today, and we made our little book. So our grocery thing. So we will be back tomorrow. I will work on my camera and try to get it figured out where hopefully you can see things more. Oh, that's a little better, isn't it? Okay. Apparently it just got knocked is why. So that's that. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay crafty, and we will be back again tomorrow with more on our country kitchen book. So have a great day, great evening, great morning, wherever you're at, and stay safe. Bye now.